get another Dexter Seasons Ranked video. As many of you know, I just finished rewatching Dexter and Dexter New Blood yet again, and since my opinion has changed, it's time to re-rank the seasons of Dexter. Of course, before I do that, pretty important, if you're not caught up to the point where I am in rewatching or watching Dexter or Dexter New Blood, which is every single episode of Dexter and Dexter New Blood, then I highly suggest that you don't watch this video any further to avoid spoilers, because I am going to be talking about spoilers. And of course, this goes without saying, this is my personal opinion. We are not going to agree, most likely. We all have different opinions, and if we all had the same opinion, the world would be a very boring place. So make sure you leave your ranking down in the comments section. I have covered Dexter ad nauseum on this channel, and while I have a few more Dexter videos that I'm going to post within the next couple weeks, after that, I'm not sure if I'll post any Dexter content anytime soon, unless, of course, we get some more Dexter. So be sure to check out all my Dexter-related content since I've finished rewatching the entire run of the character of Dexter Morgan. It's no secret that I enjoy discussing Dexter Morgan with all of you, but ultimately, I want to hear from you, so make sure that you smash that like button to help me out with the YouTube algorithm and help out the channel. Share the video, leave your ranking down in the comment section, and of course, last but certainly not least, the most important thing, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel. I really am trying to grow the channel, so join this team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. Again, spoilers ahead, and remember that this is my personal opinion on how I think the seasons of Dexter should be ranked. So we have 9 total seasons of Dexter, and I've ranked these seasons a few times, even once after Dexter New Blood aired, but my opinion did change, so I wanted to make it official and do yet another Dexter Seasons Ranked video. So coming in last place, number 9 for me, is going to be Dexter Season 6. That's the season that has a very religious undertone. You have Travis Marshall is our main villain, played by Colin Hanks. You also have Edward James Olmos as Professor Geller in there. And you have an interesting character in Brother Sam, but really nothing else is that great about this season. You have the premiere episode, which I'm not recalling what the name of the episode is, where Dexter goes to his high school class reunion, and he's like really popular. Everybody like wants to talk to him. I enjoyed that episode. And then after that, I mean, there was one interesting episode where there was a twist that was revealed that I already saw coming that some people liked. I thought it was okay. The only interesting part after that is the finale after Dexter kills Travis Marshall and then sees Deb and says, "Oh God," and then the season ends. Really, there's nothing else that's all that interesting about season 6. You have that really interesting character in Brother Sam, and they kill him off after 2 or 3 episodes, and it didn't sit well with me. I'm not a big religious guy. I could care less about religion. You start talking about religion to me, and I start tuning you out automatically. So maybe that's why I've never liked this season all that much, and that's why Dexter Season 6 is my least favorite season at number 9. Coming in 8th place, this is a change, is going to be Dexter New Blood. You had 9+ years to make a better show, and Dexter New Blood was a show that, while they tried to make it as good as they can, having it in a different setting and barely using any of the characters from Dexter that we've all known and loved for many years, just made the show fall flat. Now, initially when it aired, I was a big fan of Dexter New Blood. I think it was more of a recency bias, and the fact that Dexter New Blood was a huge hit on JDev TV. I gained a lot of subscribers and a lot of views because of Dexter New Blood, and I was very happy about that. That a show that I was really passionate about, a character that I was really passionate about, people were coming to my channel to hear me talk about that character in that show. But unfortunately, after rewatching it, my opinion changed. I think they had some good ideas, but the characters weren't really hashed out all that much, and the show should have easily been 2 seasons at least. You have not very many memorable characters. We don't get hardly anybody from Miami Metro. We didn't get Joseph Quinn. We didn't get Vince Masuka. We didn't get Tom Matthews. We got a very annoying and psycho Deb as Ghost Deb, his new conscience that he talks to. We get Angel Batista thrown in there just to give us false hope in the end. And you get a character that gets some development in Angela, but all she does is Google search and run into random people to find out all of her information. But yet something she's been looking into for 25 years, she can't figure out a fucking thing to do with it. And then you have a pretty decent villain in Kirk Caldwell. We get to know a little bit about him, but, you know, Matt Caldwell, when he was on Dexter's table, said, my dad is a, from what Matt Caldwell says, Kirk Caldwell should have been a lot more vicious to people in general, aside from when he killed people. And we didn't get that. Kirk Caldwell actually kind of seemed like a nice guy, aside from what he did to Harrison, but he's doing that because Dexter had killed Matt Caldwell. Otherwise, I don't think Kirk Caldwell goes after young boys. He goes after women because they're runaways. And I didn't like it. And like I mentioned before, Angel Batista. Why even have him in this show? Okay, you know what? You can have him at the conference to learn about Deborah Morgan and Dexter Morgan and his son Harrison. But to tease us in the Dexter New Blood, as it stands right now, finale, he's on his way. He'll be there tomorrow. And then we don't get any scene with Dexter and Batista doesn't even show up. That's a huge letdown, Clyde Phillips. Open your eyes and look at what you've done. You have pissed off the fan base because you gave us a character that we liked and then teased us. You dangled a carrot in front of us and didn't give us the carrot. So it ticks me off. And, you know, all the characters that really didn't have much development was really annoying. You have Dexter being called Jim Lindsay. Okay, I can get that. That makes sense. And then you have this character, I'm forgetting what his name is, Ed, the billionaire guy with the helicopter, that you think he's going to have a lot to do with this season, and then after 3 episodes, he's gone, and you don't see him again. You have a somewhat interesting character in Molly that's barely used. You have a pretty cool character in Logan, but we really don't learn a lot about Logan, Sergeant Logan. And then you bring back Harrison, and he's not very likable at all. And then when he finally starts, okay, Harrison's okay, and then he turns on his dad again because his dad murdered his coach that he just met a couple weeks ago. He's that upset over it. So I could rant. There's elements of it that I like, but rewatching it, it's pretty boring. We needed a Vince Masuka. We needed a Joseph Quinn in this season. And that's why, unfortunately, Dexter New Blood is my 8th favorite season, which means it's one of my least favorite seasons. Coming in 7th place, and a lot of people would put this as their number 9, is going to be Dexter Season 8. Now, our main villain is the brain surgeon. That would be Daniel Vogel, a.k.a. Now I'm forgetting his name all of a sudden. My rant about Dexter New Blood has me completely on edge here. Saxon. So he's okay as a villain. I just think he wasn't introduced soon enough. Now, rewatching this season, I was a little bit more bored watching it until Hannah McKay returns. Once Hannah came on the show again, it got a lot better. And I really liked the stuff with Dexter and Hannah and Harrison. But obviously, my big complaint with Hannah in Season 8 of Dexter is, why are you still going around with the same appearance? She changes her name or gets a new identity, but has the same look. Put a black wig on or something, please. Did you really go to the hospital and look the same as you did? That really bothers me. A smart character like Hannah would never do that. She was written poorly. And I guess the fan base doesn't like Hannah. Well, I do. So they should have gave Hannah some more smarts in Season 8 because she didn't drop the ball at all in season 7. Now, going back to our big bad of the season, which was, Oliver Saxon or Daniel Vogel, whatever you want to call him. Again, he was okay, but we didn't see him until like episode, was it 7 or 8? You had Hannah coming back, which was good. You had the introduction of Dr. Evelyn Vogel, which I really liked Dr. Vogel. She was all right. We got introduced to a character named Jacob Elway. In my opinion, he's the big bad of season 8 because we get the most time with him, and I kind of despise him as a character because he's kind of an asshole, especially to Deb. Even though some of his remarks and his attitude towards Deb is warranted, but I just, Masuka all of a sudden has a daughter. She's got a nice pair of tits, but that kind of really goes nowhere. Like, Masuka doesn't really get a good ending on Dexter, and that's upsetting. You know what I want? I want a spin-off show called Miami Metro, following the daily life of Angel Batista, Joseph Quinn, and Vince Masuka, and whoever else they want to put on the show. In addition to any more Dexter content, I want that. Yeah. So that's why season 8 is my number 7. Number 6 for me, it's went up a couple spots. I still don't necessarily really love it, but Dexter season 3. That's the season where we get introduced to Miguel Prado, played by Jimmy Smits, and he finds out what Dexter does, and he wants to be a part of it. He gets annoyed. You've got this code. We have to talk to you about that code, Dexter. But Prado is good. I'm a little upset that he was killed off before the finale. I think maybe we should have saved him to the finale. And then we have another villain on the show during the season, the Tree Trimmer. And now his name is escaping me. That's I don't have any notes other than the actual seasons in front of me. So, God, Joe something? Nah, I don't know. Whatever. You don't need it. He's kind of irrelevant. That's why I forgot his name. But he's kind of in the background. And then towards the end, he starts to become more of a focus. But ultimately, he really isn't a challenge for Dexter in the end. So the season, I think, my main problems with season 3. It's decent, but it's sandwiched in between season 2 and season 4. 2 of the best seasons of Dexter. And season 3 just doesn't live up to either of those seasons. We get introduced to Deb's new love interest, Anton, and he doesn't stay around very long. He's there all of season 3, for the most part, I think, and then leaves shortly, and right away in season 4. I don't know. Dexter's okay in season 3 of Dexter. Miguel Prado is pretty awesome. Rita is very bitchy and annoying, as Rita usually is. I don't really have a lot to say about season 3. A lot of people hold it in high regard, saying it's a top 4 season. To me, it's bottom of the barrel. It's one of the few seasons. If I have a chance to watch every season of Dexter, it's definitely not one of the first 5 I pick. So that's why season 3 is going to be my number 6. My number 5 is going to be Dexter season 5. That's where we have our band of villains led by Jordan Chase. He doesn't really get shown until like 3 or 4 episodes into the season, if not longer. We have a special guest star in Julia Stiles, playing Lumen Pierce, who was a good character, annoying at times, but seemed like her and Michael C. Hall, played by Dexter, Dexter played by Michael C. Hall, they seem to work on screen. And then at the last second, her character, I'm cured of this. I don't need this anymore. I'm going to go back to Minnesota. Why? Did Julia Stiles say she didn't want to be on the show anymore, and that's why they threw that curveball? That kind of was dumb, in my opinion. Jordan Chase, he's okay as a villain. There's better villains on the show. He had more help. Cole Hauser, I'm forgetting all of his guys' names besides Cole Hauser. And I think that the guy that was the guy that took dead animals, Boyd Fowler. I think Boyd Fowler is a very underrated villain just because of the scenes that him and Dexter had. He was very smart. Like, he was figuring shit out, which other villains are kind of clueless and don't know what the hell's going on. So, season 5 is okay. The story is great. It's all one big build-up, so Deb lets Dexter and Lumen go at the end without realizing it. That is her brother Dexter and this mysterious Lumen character. And then, of course, I'm jumping around here. You have Dexter revealing to his stepchildren, Aster and Cody, that their mother is dead. And Aster being a very annoying bitch of a stepdaughter. And then she comes back later in the season after spending time with her grandparents, and she's hiding her friend at their old house because her friend is getting beat up by her father, and it made Aster a better character at that point in time. So I did like that stuff. So this is the part where these seasons I would watch on a regular basis, with this one being my least favorite of the good seasons of Dexter. But I think the Barrel Girl thing was good. It just, maybe you should have had Deb found out it was Dexter at the end of this season. I don't know. And then Dexter having to deal with the death of Rita and finally coming to terms and accepting what happened and going to the funeral and all that. It's a good season, but it only comes in at my number 5. These last 4, I'm going on record saying it was actually tough to rank these. Even though I know the seasons I like, just remembering things about each of the seasons, I wasn't actually sure which ranking I would go with, because I could easily flip-flop a couple. I could move one up 2 spots and move one down 2 spots, because they're all really good in their own mind. But coming in at number 4 for me, which this season has gone up, is going to be season 1 of Dexter, the OG. Now, it took a few episodes to get into the show. I would say, 3, 4, something like that. But the season is really good, and they didn't know how long this show would last. So they give us a really good finale in Born Free, where you find out that this Rudy character, who is the ice truck killer, who is also Brian Moser, Dexter's long-lost older brother, that's also a serial killer. That was good stuff. Did he really need to kill Deb? I don't know if he had to go that far out of his lengths, but I guess she would have been in the way, and he wanted his brother all for himself. You have some great interactions between Dexter and Sergeant James Doakes, which I think we should have gotten more of that. And Sergeant Doakes should have been around till season 5, I think. Possibly. I think that would have been better for the show overall, because when you kill that character off, you lessen how good the show gets. The other characters aren't at that level yet, like Joey Quinn, Joseph Quinn, whatever you want to call him. He doesn't get to the level that Sergeant Doakes gets to. He's a good character in the end, but he's not at the level that Sergeant Doakes is. So, Brian Moser as a villain, good stuff, good actor. Him and Dexter worked well on screen. The relationship, or the fake relationship with Rita, I don't really like it. Didn't really like Deb in the first season of the show. I just like the Doakes and Dexter and Brian Moser stuff. Masuka doesn't get a lot of time. Batista, he's kind of an idiot that doesn't really figure out anything. So season 1 is definitely a good season, and I underrated it before, but I really enjoy it now, and that's why it's my number 4. Number 3, another hard decision, and really, my ranking hasn't changed at this point anymore, but I contemplated switching things around. As it stands right now, my number 3 is going to be Dexter Season 7. We have the villain / ally of Dexter, Isaac Serco, played by Ray Stevenson. He's such a great, underrated good guy, bad guy, because he kind of plays both roles. He's this like assassin type, but he's also got some humanity to him, and all he's doing there is trying to get revenge for what happened to, we find out, his boyfriend, which I'm forgetting his name now, of course, and I'm still trying to remember the tree trimmer guy's name. It was on the tip of my tongue, and then I forgot it. But Isaac Serco is definitely the highlight of season 7. In addition to the great Hannah McKay. Again, my lips are getting really dry now. Hannah is amazing. All the stuff with Hannah McKay, especially in Dexter season 7, it's amazing stuff. It's amazing material. Not any complaints with that at all. Dexter was going to kill Hannah, and then he decides to have sex with her because she's like, do what you got to do. Awesome stuff. Deb trying to deal with the fact that Dexter is the Bay Harbor Butcher, and like at first she doesn't know. She just thinks that he killed Travis Marshall. But then Deb, being the, running on her treadmill, thinking about things, goes to Dexter's at night and finds his kill tools, finds the blood slides, and has everything sat at his Dexter's table. Are you the Bay Harbor Butcher? I am. I don't remember what Dexter says, but it was pretty awesome. Of course, the finale of the season is very good. The last couple episodes of the season, the cat and mouse game between Dexter and LaGuerta. LaGuerta trying to set Dexter up with Estrada. Is it Estrada? Estrada might be the guy from season 2. Now I'm forgetting his name. You know what I'm talking about, though. I'm still trying to remember the tree trimmer guy's name from season 3. I'm not pausing the video to look it up either. I'll just whatever. But yeah, it was very good season. Very well, very good. I'm repeating myself. Underrated. I think a lot of people rate it 4, 5, or 6, and I don't know why. This was easily 100 times better than season 6, 100 times better than season 8, and better than Dexter New Blood. So I could go on and on about season 7. I guess I should mention the finale. Surprise, motherfucker, we get James Dokes back for a little bit. That was awesome. I wish Dokes would have somehow, someway been alive still. I know, a little hard to get him alive, but that would have been awesome. But season 7, excellent season, very underrated, and that's why it's my number 2. No, I'm sorry, that's why it's my number 3. Coming in at number 2, again, I debated on making this lower because while the season is phenomenal, I feel like the ending is a slight letdown. I'm talking about season 2 of Dexter. That's why I mistakenly said 2. Awesome season. Very suspenseful. You have the guest star of Frank Lundy. You have our villain in this season is Lila. And he has a relationship with Lila. And Lila understands what he does and accepts it, where Rita would never go along with any of that stuff. I mean, she was ready to dump Dexter when he didn't go to a meeting for it was an NA meeting. So yeah, Lila, awesome. We lose James Dokes, and I don't like that. I think Dokes should have stayed around somehow, some way. I would, it seemed like they were making Dokes understand what Dexter was, and he saved Dokes in the end. Not the very end, but towards the end, he did save Dokes, and maybe he should have been understanding. Like, you know what? I'm going to think about what I've seen. I ain't going to say anything. I'll let you know, or I don't know, something like that. Or maybe just go through the whole plan of framing Dokes for it, and then Dokes being arrested and having to prove his innocence. Maybe that would have made for a more interesting show. Would have made season 3 a lot more interesting than what we got in season 3 of Dexter. But Rita's really annoying in the season. Loved Lila. Thought her and Dexter would have been a lot better than him and Rita. I never really liked Rita all that much. I find her annoying and her Dexter. So we have a memorable villain that was only in 2 episodes. Little Chino. He was very awesome. And again, I'm still trying to figure out who was the tree trimmer guy from season 3. The name Joe sticks in my head, but I don't believe that's it. But whatever the case may be, I still like season 2. I just don't like the ending where Dokes is dead at the end of episode 11. And then episode 12 is kind of an epilogue to a degree, with them dealing with everything that's going on. But Dexter does go to kill Lila, which I think maybe he should have left Lila alone for at least a season or 2. But whatever the case may be, Dexter Season 2 is my number 2. And my number 1, again, no change here, Dexter Season 4. From beginning to end, an amazing season of Dexter, and the final 2 episodes of the season are awesome. Hello, Dexter Morgan, The Getaway, awesome episodes. You have Trinity going to Miami Metro and then seeing a picture with Dexter on it, who he thinks was Kyle all this time, and then going to the homicide place, and then Dexter coming out, and then Arthur Mitchell. Hello, Dexter Morgan. That was some intense ass shit. I loved it. And of course, Arthur Mitchell, my ears ringing. Arthur Mitchell as the Trinity Killer was great. He did an amazing job. I'm glad that he won an Emmy because he definitely deserves it. And God, that season 3 guy is really annoying me. I keep thinking about that. It's making me lose my train of thought. But you have the episode Dex Takes a Holiday. We get introduced to the female cop that supposedly killed her family. What an intense episode. And she's kind of playing a cat and mouse game with Dexter, like pulling him over and like, you know, confronting him in a bathroom as well. That was awesome. And of course, the end of the episode, we get the unfortunate death of Frank Lundy, which really pissed me off. I would have loved to seen Lundy look into Dexter and like tell Deborah, I have a theory I want to run by you. I believe that your brother might be the Bay Harbor Butcher. You know, Deb doesn't know all this stuff yet, and he can run his theories by Dexter, or I'm sorry, by Deb, and it would have been very interesting to see those conversations. You know, Deb, like this older guy, thinks that her brother might be a serial killer, which she already got mad about Dokes and Quinn, you know, putting that name on Dexter, but it would have been, I think, very, very entertaining television. But despite that, the season was still awesome. Even though we lost Lundy, we had the awesomeness of the cop chick. We had the awesomeness of Arthur Mitchell. And then we get one of the biggest surprises in TV history. And this, for me, was not spoiled. I watched Dexter after Dexter aired. I knew her episode title or her episode count on IMDb was lower than everybody else, but I didn't know that Rita was going to die at the end of season 4. I didn't know quite when she left. I just knew that she didn't have as many episodes as everybody else, but, you know, at this point, I'm not thinking that we're going to lose Rita. I didn't see it coming. I probably should have with the way that Arthur Mitchell was talking about, but I didn't know. But I wasn't super shocked by it. It just kind of went, whoa, shit. But Rita annoyed me, so I didn't really care. So, awesome season of television. One of the best seasons of television history. I should do my top 10. I probably have to do a top 20 favorite seasons of TV. Dexter season 4. Walking Dead season 6. Breaking Bad season 4. What else would we get? Game of Thrones season 6. Yeah, maybe I would only have to do a top 10 list because those are like the 4 seasons that stand out to me. Other shows don't have anything that really stands out. So I really wish I could think of I could look it up right now if I wanted to, but I want to think of it. For some reason, I think his name is Joe. I'm picturing his face, and I just can't. But whatever the case may be, you have my new ranking of the Dexter seasons. Number 9, Dexter Season 6. Number 8, Dexter New Blood. Number 7, Dexter Season 8. Number 6, Dexter Season 3. Number 5, Dexter Season 5. Number 4, Dexter Season 1. Number 3, Dexter Season 7. Number 2, Dexter Season 2. And my number 1, Dexter Season 4. So there you have it. My ranking of the Dexter seasons in order from my least favorite to my favorite. Now it's your turn to interact with me. If you're a fan of Dexter or Dexter New Blood and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please make sure that you're Hulk smashing that like button. Share this video with anybody you know. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to leave your ranking down in the comment section. My opinion changed, so maybe yours would too. If you need to rewatch the show or at least a few of the seasons, Please do that, because season 1 of Dexter went way up. Dexter New Blood went down for me personally. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, the most important thing of all, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel. I'm really trying to grow the channel. I know I lost some people after Dexter New Blood. It happens. Some people like a certain niche. I cover a lot of stuff on this channel, so please subscribe, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special, and JDev will return.